Alright, chapter 11, simple interest. So let's first start with the definitions. Principal, the money borrowed, lent or deposit, right? Sometimes you borrow money from your friends, sometimes you should lend, and even you might even deposit in the bank, okay? That becomes your principal or P, okay? Rate of interest R, remember it will always be in terms of percentage, maybe 5%, right? Maybe you lend the money to your friend at a rate of 5%, maybe you borrow at the rate of how much? 10%. Maybe you deposit it in a bank and the bank said they will give you at a rate of 4%. Okay. Interest, the extra money paid by the borrower to the lender. The extra money, remember this. Okay, let's go to the amount for now. At the end of a specified time period, the borrower has to pay a sum of money to the lender, which is known as the amount. So amount will be our last, okay, when we add both the principal and the interest, or the simple interest. For example, let's say you borrow rupees 1000, right? And then at the end, because of the interest and everything, let's say you have to pay back 1100 back, right? So can you see here that the interest is how much? The simple interest is 100 rupees, right? Which means what? Your principal, you borrowed 1000 and the interest came out to be 100. So at the end, maybe what? At the end of a specified time period, right? Time period in the sense, maybe 1 month, maybe half yearly, right? Maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year, maybe 10 years. Okay, so at the end of a specified time period, the borrower has to pay some money to a lender, which is known as the amount. So when you add the principal and the simple interest, you're paying back how much? 1100. Okay, so that becomes our amount. All right, so don't worry here, when we're solving the question, I'll explain it there again. Okay. All right, so there are two types of interest, okay, simple interest and compound interest. We'll be doing this now, but this compound interest will be for your higher classes. Okay, so how do you find a simple interest? SI, the formula is simple, PRT by 100, right? Principal, the rate of interest, and the time divided by 100. Okay, so once we find this, the simple interest, we have to put it back here in this formula, right? So remember, interest or SI. Clear? Well, let's solve one question. So when you look here, calculate the simple interest, right? SI and the amount. Okay, so once again they've given the principal, so this might be the money that you borrowed, maybe you lend or maybe you deposit, right? At the rate of how much? Like I said, it will always be in terms of percentage. So 4% per annum means in 1 year, okay, and a time period is how much? T is 2 years. So we'll first try to find the simple interest. So like I said, the formula is pretty simple, PRT by 100. Principal is how much? Principal is 3000, right? Rate of interest is 4%. 4% means what? 4 by 100, right? There, so you can see 4 by 100. Clear? And then time period is how much? Time period is 2 years, so you can see 2 here. Clear? So you can divide 0 0 0 0. We're going to have 13 to 4 into 2. When you multiply, you're going to have 240, or our SI, right? The interest is how much? Rupees 240. So let's see the total amount we're supposed to pay back at the end of 2 years. So amount equals principal plus interest, right? Principal, how much? Rupees 3000, right? And then the interest, or a simple interest, how much? 240. Okay, so the total amount at the end of 2 years will be equal to rupees 3240. Let's do one more. Same thing again. Principal is 9000, rate of interest is 5% per annum. Time, now how many years? Time is 5 years. Okay, so now let's first find the SI, or the simple interest. So PRT by 100. Principal is 9000. You can already see rate of interest is 5%. So once again, 5% means 5 by 100, right? So 5 by 100 is there, and then time is again 5, right? So let's start dividing. 1 0 0 0 0. I'm having 19 to 5 into 5. When you multiply, you're going to get what? 2250, right? Now let's see the amount at the end of 5 years. So amount formula is what? Principal plus simple interest, right? So principal is 9000 and the simple interest will go to how much? 2250. So when you add, so at the end of 5 years, how much? It'll be equal to rupees 11250.